Hola. Back, part 2 of chapter 3. Global cores, keeping us together safely. I couldn't get the saying out of my mind. I went back to my couch and started flicking channels. Every show I came across looking awesome in hollow vision, no matter what kind of crap screened across the corner of my living room. I started watching the news. It started off with the usual junk. Largest diamond cell fragment cavity discovered deep under China near core. Then on to terrorist plot thwarted thanks to the Global Core Security Service. It flashed images of 5 guys being drug out of a shack-style housing development in Quadrant C. The security service, with a total of 40 on the site, fully decked out with fully automatics, supreme vision helmets, and regenerating body armor. With the GC logo stylishly embroidered on the back with the letters TSS on the front. I shifted my eyes to the news channel logo because, honestly, having so many TSS agents so lifelike in my house was a little disheartening. The logo, of course, was that of the GC, it being the GC News Service and all. Just seeing it made my heart sink a little. I didn't like the feeling of what some people took as completely safe. I was having the feeling of complete control. I quickly changed the channel in case my implanted chip could also read my thoughts. In case you were wondering, at birth, when you are delivered in a GC medical service nursery post, you're implanted with a chip behind your right ear that keeps stats and data of everything you do in life. As I was flipping channels through Mind Games, Trouble Factor, Can You Take the Heat, when I came across one of my old favorite shows, Ancient Aliens, comparing otherworldly visitors and Genesis from the Old Testament. Before we were all saved by the absolutism religion that the GC shared with the world after it gained control. The GC obtained a book from God that told the truth of all. It had truly saved an entire people desperately looking for guidance and for salvation. When I noticed with wide eyes an carved picture and inscription on one of the ancient artifacts that they were showing, I grabbed the voice remote. Rewind, I said. Pause. Enhance and zoom in lower left quadrant. It did exactly my commands. Clarify and zoom. The image came into clear focus. A snake tightly holding a planet. The exact same as global cores. My mind raced. What could that mean? I thought to myself. A number of things and thoughts raced through my head. I leapt up and leaped over to the computer. I quickly did my thumbprint scan login and jumped on the GC internet service. I voiced in the search, Global Core logo meaning. It reported results instantaneously. The screen starts reading aloud in a soothing voice. The GC logo is a depiction of a brave and mighty serpent, safely guarding and holding the planet Earth. Holding us together, safely, has and always will be the Global Core motto. GC will always keep us together and safe. Okay, I thought. That told me nothing I didn't already know. My voice command entered, GC logo origins, and immediately I was shown the same exact page. I commanded, where did GC logo come from? Same page again. I began to get a little frustrated, so I got up to go to the fridge. I typed in the code for the wild berry excellence I wanted, and out it poured into my fresh diamond glass. I raised the cup to my lips and took a soothing drink. Right at that moment, there was a knock at the door. Who could that be, I thought? No personal visits to rooms were ever allowed, unless the case of marriage. I looked through the front scanner to see who it was. A TSS agent, in full gear, at my door. Now continuing to knock with a greater passion, as if he now senses my presence. I slowly opened the door. Corey Cameron Copeland? Let me try that again. I slowly opened the door. Corey Cameron Copeland? Resident number 147997. ID code number 7479. Yes, sir. Is there any kind of trouble? They're a little concerned down at headquarters. He spoke raspily as he bruised past me into my domain. They've reportedly received intel about concerning search questions voice commanded through your computer. Perhaps I can help, he asked as he stepped up face to mask with me. Sir, the only question I have was where did the GC logo originate from? I like it very much and wanted to know as much about it as possible. I quickly decided to say, hoping he wouldn't read my mind. Who knows? They could have that technology by now. He glares at me for a few moments before responding. Son, the GC logo originated when the GC company came into being a year before the Third War. Yes, sir, I reported. It's just I was watching a television program and noticed the same logo drawn thousands of years ago. It just shook my mind a little. Son, logos are a dime a dozen. GC borrowed the logo from a previous artist. Things like this happen all the time. If I were you, I would never think anything of it again. He almost seemed to eerily warn me in his raspy voice. He then turned out of my face and headed back through the door. He turned around when he got through the threshold and said, I do not, nor do you, want me to come back here. And stormed off down the hall, speaking muffled into the helmet, probably to HQ. I shut the door and sat back down on the couch drinking the juice that had never left my hands. I was pretty scared and shocked as I was sitting there in silence, trying to understand what had just happened. As shock slowly left me, I started to think about what really just happened in a span of 60 seconds. I went from watching TV to searching 3 things to getting out of my chair and a TSS agent at my door. Over something I should never think of again? It was really late, and for how paranoid I was about this whole logo business, the fact that a TSS agent came to my door in less than a minute for looking into it made my heart sink, feel concern along next to the control. I got time. Chapter 4. I was woke that night by the sound of a low hum that was growing louder and louder. Wow, wow. I sat up to look and see where sound was coming from. The sound, louder, louder. Wow, wow, wow. My heart races. The clock's ticking. Louder it gets until I realize the sound isn't going into my ears, but coming from inside my head. My brain was buzzing. Wow, wow. The noise increased in pitch and speed. Wow, wow, wow. The minute hand moves. As I jump out of bed, I'm feeling as if my brain is about to implode. It starts to tingle. Thousands of electrical dormant brain cells reconnecting and rekindling. I start hearing clicks in my brain. Sounds climax with a loud whirring sound, finalized by a loud clap. Wow, 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 wow. And the clock doesn't make a sound. And before my bewildered, adrenaline eyes was the most beautiful, fantasizing vision of a womanly creature I had ever laid eyes on or imagined in my life. She had the skin the color of the softest, most pure sea green. Her eyes twice as large as my own, but twice as comforting and sensual. The color of the bluest crystal mixed with the fluorescent diamond. They shimmered, glimmered, and sparkled from the low light in the room. Her hair flowing breezy, charcoal green, with faint tints of blue and green, almost as though it could change color. It looked more like fine silk, just simply dazzling. And when she spoke in her voice, that was the mother of calm, my heart burst with love and feelings of happiness. She said, Corey, I'm here for you. Stunned, I stared at her in amazement. What's going on? What do you mean? Who are you? Let's try that again. What's going on? What do you mean? Who are you? I calmly asked. I was actually at peace, which was strange given the situation. My name is Kadrina. You have seeked the truth of things, and based upon your life statistics and data, you are capable of being free. You can join us as we try to free your planet from the Druk. That's when I knew for sure that this was some sort of crazy dream. This isn't real. I'm dreaming, I told the apparition. She reached forward and touched me with the softest, warmest, most comforting hand and spoke. They've detected us. We must go. Now. The clock made the familiar sound. The door burst open with pressurized force. TSS was rushing in. Instantaneously, Kadrina burst into the brightest, brilliant blue blend of sapphire and azure. She grasped me with her other hand. We were standing face to face, her voice in my head. Close your eyes. And a loud clap. And we were no longer in the room. Chapter 5, coming soon. I mean, it's written. I just don't have time on the video. I gotta go to work because I'm late. Alright, guys.